And Masamune91, thanks for the 5 month prime. It says, Johnny, I got made a caster for my league. What's your best advice for a first time caster? Well, first of all, congrats on that. My advice for first time casting is try to have some fun with it. I think the biggest mistake a lot of first time casters make is they take it way too seriously. They try to sound like they're casting a super serious, prestigious competition, and they just don't have any fun with it. They feel like they have to fill every second with analysis and with commentary. You don't. The thing that most people want to have in a commentator, a caster, when they watch Rocket League, they just want to have someone that they can sit down and enjoy the game with. That's the thing that I would tell you to try and be, is just be someone who the viewers would just want to chill out with and enjoy some good Rocket League. Because if you could be that, then you're never going to have people who don't like your casting. But if you take it too seriously, people might be like, it doesn't really fit the vibe, it's way too serious. Like, it shouldn't sound like this. I think most of the smaller tournaments end up sounding way too serious, and people just don't have enough fun with it. But when I say have fun with it, I don't mean be a cringe lord. A lot of people these days mistake having fun with just being a cringe lord and trying to make the viewers cringe because, whoa, look how weird and quirky I am. Nobody cares about how weird and quirky you are, mate. Just stop it. Stop being awkward. Stop being weird. Just be chill. People just want the casters to be chill and have a good time. That's it. And be real as well. When I'm saying, have a good time with it, I don't mean talk nonsense, because some people, when they're casting, they want to sound like they know a lot more than they do, and they just make stuff up, and everybody knows that they're just making it up. Like, you're not fooling anyone. Rocket League's a very simple game to understand. Like, all the viewers know that they're just making up nonsense. So instead of like making up analysis, just stick to what you know. It's far better to say, I know absolutely nothing about this player, but I can't wait to watch him play, than to say, oh yeah, this player is really good at dribbling. Like some people feel like they have to know something and they have to provide the insight, when really you don't. It's better to just be honest. So just have some fun, be honest, don't be a cringe lord. That's pretty much it. Some people probably like the cringe casting, but I think it doesn't really have a place personally in the pinnacle of Rocket League esports. I don't think it belongs at all. And I don't know why. I've never understood why people would do that. Like, why would you want to make the viewers cringe? Why would you want to make the viewers just feel uncomfortable? That ruins immersion. It distracts them. You want to immerse people in the game, not make them cringe and snap back to reality and turn you on mute. A wee playcaster said Abstract doesn't have great mechanics. I did hear that one. That was quite funny, because afterwards Jack scored like a really sick air dribble. But in fairness, I think that was probably just a badly explained line rather than an attempt to misinform the viewers. I think when I listened to that, I just thought, nah. I think that guy just meant to say that even if this guy messes something up mechanically, he's got such a big brain that he can figure out a way to make it work anyway. It sounded like he's trying to hype up the guy's Rocket League brain, but he just said it wrong, and it came out as if he's just roasting his mechanics. The player that he's talking about is actually insanely mechanical. So yeah, it sounded pretty bad, but I don't think that's what he meant at all, to be fair. Hey, thank you by the way to Alex Laser again for the 50 quid prize, but you're far too kind, mate. I'll make sure to send that on to Daniel. You like your casters to sound and act like 90s wrestler caster. Interesting. Hey, as far as styles go, I think it's good to have a mix. I like that. I really like the Rocket League casting has a variety. I think it would be really boring if everybody was the same, if everybody's trying to do the same thing. That's why it's good to have different personalities, different nationalities, different countries, different did I just say nationalities and countries as if those are two different things? But you know what I mean, different cultures, different personalities. I think I might have said that twice, but you get what I mean. You get what I mean. It's good to have variety, but you got to keep it within some constraints as well. And I think the constraints I was talking about, those are my keys to anybody trying to do casting, is just don't make the viewers feel uncomfortable. Be honest and have fun. Don't take yourself too seriously. That's all I would say. Do I think Arsenal would be a great commentator? I do. I think Arsenal would be a phenomenal commentator because he is a pro player, so he knows a lot about the game. He'd have the game knowledge already. I think he's hilarious, so he's got the personality aspect, and I think he's very real as well. So, people just like him because he's such a real guy. He's he's checking off all the boxes I was talking about before. He's a little cringe. I don't think Arsenal's cringe. That's not really what I was talking about. When I'm saying don't be cringe, I've never really heard Arsenal say something purely with the intent of making viewers feel like, oh, that's just cringe. I'm not even talking about like bad jokes or anything. I think bad jokes are fine. Like I make a lot of bad jokes in commentary to try and break Shogun's character. When I'm talking about cringe commentary, I just mean like being weird. Some people just like are weird for the sake of being weird, like just talking in weird voices and stuff that has absolutely no contextual value. I think Arsenal's funny though. Everything that I see from him seems to be in it makes sense in the context that it's in. But also, you've got to remember that if you're imagining Arsenal as a caster or as a commentator, you've got to also imagine him casting with a real caster, because that's when you get the best out of pro players, is when you pair them up with a real commentator, someone who's got thousands of hours experience commentating Rocket League. Because if you combine someone who actually commentates Rocket League full time with a pro player, it's always amazing, because the pro player's got the knowledge, the pro player's got the personality a lot of the time, and a different take on the game, and the caster knows how to keep a conversation going while also hyping up the game. I think maybe the one thing that pro players who dip into casting lack in the short term, but they can learn this, is hyping up big moments, and you need a caster to hype up big moments for the big moment to be as big as possible, or else it might not be as hype as it could be. Turbo had you dying? Exactly, yeah. Turbo, hilarious on the mic. Rizzo as well. I think Rizzo has really done well in his recent. I've watched a little bit of his casting on his stream, and I love it because he doesn't, he's just being himself. He's just having fun with it, but he's also providing some pro player insights, and he's not going out of his way to try and be the center of attention. He's just doing his thing, and I really like that. CJ is a really good caster. Yep, CJ is phenomenal as well. I love casting with CJ. Thank you, by the way, to Plain Socks for the 4-month Prime, and Jarby with the 19-month Tier 1. Jarby, how you doing, man? Speaking of casters, looking forward to getting back on the weekend calls for RLCS with you, my man, and the whole gang. RB Thurston, thanks for 200 bits. No hate on anyone else, he says, but your style of casting is the reason I watch any Rocket League. More of a British football style. Yeah, me and Shogun, I know Colin Stumpy as well, and I'm sure a lot of the other UK commentators take a lot of inspiration from UK football style commentary. So that is no surprise to hear that. I'm glad that you make that connection. But like I said earlier, British and UK people, maybe European fans, will probably gravitate more towards that style. But I know that Stacks, for example, his style of commentary is very American. I can't remember what game in particular sounds like that, because I don't really watch any American sports. But I'm sure that American viewers who are fans of sports and Rocket League will hear that and feel very at home. And then you've got all the other American casters who do a slightly different way of casting than the UK guys, and I think that'll probably resonate really well with the American audience. And the good thing for me is that I don't think any of us are doing any of our styles of casting to such an extreme that it alienates people, because yes, you want to appeal to your audience, whether that be American or European, but you also want to be accommodating to other audiences too. So we, when me and Shogun commentate Rocket League, we don't sound exactly like UK football commentary. It's somewhere in between. It's inspired by that, and that's one of the things we, take inspiration from. It's not the only thing, but we will sound like we're commentating Rocket League. It fits Rocket League, so anyone can listen to it and not be put off, hopefully. Thanks for the 69 bits from Tits McGee 123. Appreciate that. Hearing Newa's casting will correct many wrong pronunciations. Yeah. It's good to have the correct pronunciation as well from all of the other language commentary. I love listening to the French casters. I love listening to the Spanish casters. It's really cool to hear the keywords vamos, yalla in the Arabic stream. I always love to jump in on this. Well, no, so I saw a lot of negative comments on the We Play casting as well, but what you have to remember is that the vast majority of the viewers watching, there was how many viewers? There was like tens of thousands of viewers, like so many viewers on those streams. The vast majority of those viewers probably loved the casting or were probably cool with it, but it doesn't take many people to be complaining to appear like there's a lot of people complaining. Like most of the people watching never type in chat, and most of the people watching will never comment on a Reddit thread, never tweet anything. But a vocal minority who don't like the way that something's being done will make it appear as if the popular opinion is that something is bad. But I really seriously doubt. I didn't really watch a lot of the We Play tournament myself because I was pretty busy in real life. But I seriously doubt that those guys were doing a bad job. I think that they probably just caught a lot of flack from a few people who didn't like what they were doing. It sometimes, some of those guys are newer as well. It sometimes takes viewers a while to warm up to someone. Even legendary casters like Shogun, when I first casted with him on my channel, there was loads of YouTube comments who were saying that this guy's terrible, get rid of Shogun. And of course I didn't listen to that because they're all wrong. And I knew that if they just heard him one or two more times, they're going to fall in love with him. And sure enough, now, anytime I cast with Shogun on my channel, everybody's like, yes, Shogun, hype, this is amazing. It just takes time for some people to warm up to a caster. But if you stick to what I was saying earlier, you're probably setting yourself up to be more acceptable to the critical people. Like there's a vocal minority who are extremely critical, and if you want them to just shut up and stop talking about you, just don't be annoying. Don't be dishonest, and just try to enjoy yourself. Nobody can hate you if you're just having a good time, and you're not. If you're speaking facts, having a good time, and you're not irritating the viewers, then no one can. Nobody can complain. They actually just can't. So that's what I try and do, and it's worked out pretty well for me. I think it could honestly work for anyone. It's a very simple formula.